Hi guys, Random here, back with a bit more World of Warships, continuing with our greeting to the new captains from the Steam platform. I'm going to go into something today that's pretty important. In fact, you could have played this game as long as I have. It's still pretty important. And sometimes, even people like me need reminding, because I've been guilty of this in the past. Okay, we're going to talk about torpedoes today. Now, I'm guessing by the time you're looking at this, you probably played a few games and you're trying to learn how to get a bit better. This is quite key. Okay, it's key for a couple of reasons. Number one, you want to make sure when you launch a torpedo it hits something that you intend it to hit. And two, you want to make sure that when you launch a torpedo, it doesn't hit something you didn't intend it to hit. Okay? Torpedoes don't have teams. Okay? They're on Torpedo's team. They're not on anybody else's team. Once you launch these, they are basically flying their own flag. Okay? If they hit a friendly ship, they will do just as much damage as if they hit an enemy. So you need to be careful with them. Rule number one, be careful with torpedoes. Rule number two, look at what's round you before you launch them. Yeah, we'll go into this a bit more in the game, but yeah, situational awareness, important for many reasons, but especially when you are launching torpedoes. And number three, you want to win. Of course you want to win. Everyone wants to win. So, let's have a look at how to do it, shall we? We'll go into a co-op, we'll jump into a battle, and we'll have a look. We're in a tier 3 Wakatake Imperial Japanese Navy destroyer. Okay? And there's a reason we're in this. It's because I like it. I like the Japanese destroyers. I think they're quite good. They have been nerfed into the ground since they were introduced into the game, but the lower tier ones are still good fun. Okay, we have a reload time of 39 seconds. We have 2 twin tubes, I believe, on this. Yep, 2. And we have some terrible guns. Okay. Yeah, the guns really aren't great. We had three guns, and I don't believe they're particularly great. 12-second reload, so bring a book, you'll need it. But generally, Japanese destroyers, pretty sneaky. 5.9 detection range with 7-kilometer torpedoes. So, what have we got on the team? We've got a South Carolina and a Nassau as a battleship. We have a Chester, a Weymouth and a Urian as cruisers, and a Wakatake, Samson and a V25 as destroyers. Now if you look at the top here, little triangle, destroyer. Sort of pointy thing with 1 line through it, that's a cruiser. Pointy thing with 2 lines through it, battleship. Okay. Pretty simple. So I am going to I'm going to play around these islands. I think destroyers are quite good at playing around islands, especially the American ones and the Russian ones, because your torpedo range is pretty dreadful in the low tier boats. So we're going to pop out here. Here's our torpedo arc, the green. Okay. That's where our torpedoes are effective. If you go outside of that, you see the bright green bit disappears. Yep, that means your torpedoes cannot be fired there. So let's head forwards. We can see enemy boats over there. That's fine. They can't see us. We will see some enemies shortly though, like this chap over here, this Wakatake. Now, I'm going to launch some torpedoes at him. I've checked the mini-map before I launch these, and I'm going to smoke. And the reason I checked the mini-map was to make sure that the other chap that was with me was not the other side of that island. So you can see him. Oh, there's a Samson. Look, oh, isn't he cute? Let's see if our torpedoes are going to be lucky. Doesn't look like it, but that's fine. We'll line up to get some shots on this chap. There we go. We took out his engines. And where's that little Samson go? Our torpedoes have reloaded, so we're all good. We can go play with these people now. I quite enjoy playing with them. We're detected. Oh no! Whatever shall we do? I know. Let's fire some torpedoes. So I'm detected by the Wakatake, and that's fine. We've got some torpedo hits on the Samson over there, and we've got some torpedoes chasing us, I would imagine. You know, destroyers tend to do that. They tend to launch torpedoes just like we did. So we know our smoke is running down, and we can see that little destroyer there. We'll take some cheeky shots at him, see if we can get a hit. Right, he's down, he's gone. This is great, this is good news. Here comes the Samson. Not so good news, but that's fine. We'll put some shots into him. We've got terrible reload on these guns, so you do have to bear that in mind. Right, the old Chester there, he's coming into range. We do have this island protecting us at the moment. Our smoke is not back up, so that's okay. We are detected. I'm going to fire some torpedoes there. I'm not going to fire both sets though. I'm going to start reversing around the island. And I'm going to start looking at Mr. Carolina there. Now again, before I fired them, I've looked at the mini-map. I know the Samson is out of range, so all is good with the world. And the Samson can see those coming, so it's fine. We're not too worried about him. What you don't want to do is fire them when people are close, because that really is no bueno. So let's point ourselves at the South Carolina. We need to be kind of neutral to him, and I'm going to hit the Y button. Y does not stand for YOLO, by the way, even though it should do, in my opinion. So I'm now approaching this South Carolina. Let's have a look. Torpedoes, no, looks like they're a little bit wide of the mark, but no, that's fine. We're coming into range again. So I'm changing direction, and well, it looks like he's taken out one of my torpedo tubes. The swine. Well, for that you can have a couple of torpedoes. Now that will have given him flooding, which is nice. We like a bit of flooding on battleships. I'm going to repair my engines because I need to get the manoeuvrability back. So you can see our chappie is there in the Samson, and he's launched his torpedoes. We've got 3 seconds, and you can see we've launched ours. Now we know that if we hit this thing, it's gone. Yes. So that is how you use torpedoes. You make sure that none of your friendlies are liable to be in front of you. You make sure that the enemy is kind of within the range of your torpedoes. There's no use shooting 7-kilometre torpedoes at an enemy that's 12 kilometres away, because they'll run out of steam before they get there, and then they just sink. They don't go boom, and they don't hit what you're aiming at. So let's have a quick look at the team score. There we go, in the middle. It's, you know, it's a low tier destroyer. You can't expect to win everything. The V25, different kettle of fish. That can be a great boat for a tier 2. I'll explain why just after this, but you'll see here, we didn't get any flooding damage, unfortunately. Had the Samson not been there, we did get a flood on that second torpedo salvo, so that would have ticked up. So like fire damage, you get flood damage. Let's have a look at the XPs. The great take-home stuff. You see here, like I said last time, in tier 1 boats you don't have to pay this. In tier 2 and above you do. So you will get a service and resupply cost. So it'll be slightly less than you see on here that you actually take home. It's worth checking to see just how much that is. And of course Commander XP, Ship XP, Free XP, I explained previously. So let's go back to the port. And let's have a quick look at the V25 just while we're here. Now, I like the V25, but German destroyers kind of stopped being fun after tier 3, tier 4. Tier 4 is a bit of a bloated version of this. Slower, not as good handling, and yeah, just not as much fun, I think. The tier 2 that I would recommend getting and just having fun in, because this thing is a absolute scream. Concealment, if you put camouflage on it, if you've unlocked that, then 5.2 kilometers, very sneaky. Maneuverability, quick as you like at 37.8 knots, great turning circle, great rudder shift. So this thing is really maneuverable. It's a lot of fun, and they have torpedoes that can fire out the front. Yeah, only one on each side. And can we kind of get the boat in line? So you can fire them kind of between there and there, if you like, for the front one on this side, and between there and there for the front one on this side. But it does mean you can charge ships down, and that can be quite funny. So yeah, I would recommend unlocking this particular ship. Whether you want to continue along the tech tree is up to you. When you get to the later destroyers like Z23, Z46, Z52, they are great. They really are. They really pick up on the top 3 ships. But this bit in the middle can be a little bit painful. But maybe it's just my playstyle. Maybe your playstyle is different. Yeah, who knows. Anyway, I think that's quite enough from me for now. So thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Don't forget the old like button is there. Loves a tickle if you think it deserves it. If you're new to the channel, then the old subscribe button's there. Feel free to give that a tap. And the comments section is there if you've got any questions or comments. Let me know. Yeah, just remains for me to say, it's Captain Random signing off. Take care, and I'll see you again in the next one.